June will mark the second month of my Makeup Monthly reporting box, and I'm happy that you guys are liking it. What it will do is allow me to kind of give a lot of mini reviews all at once, and these are for the makeup or beauty or skincare items that I picked up for that month or was given to me, let's say for example in PR. I do have a couple more Gucci fragrances to talk about. I did go back to Sephora and picked up a few more thanks to you guys saying, oh, you need to try this, oh, you need to try that. First up is Flora. Now Flora from Gucci, you know what this reminds me of? When I first sprayed it, I sprayed it and it smelled like Tokyo Milk's Tainted Love, which I already have. So this is Tainted Love. Now Tainted Love, oh, this is the dark. It has that, I would say, alluring, well, dark fragrance, like mysterious person fragrance, almost like musk, but it's not strong like a male fragrance. So this one, it reminds me of it, but in a sweeter version. And this one is actually my favorite out of all of the Gucci's that I actually tried. Not Bamboo, but just out of the ones I picked. But I don't think I'm going to be so drawn to it to pick up, let's say, a full size. It would have to be a gift, put it that way. Somebody would have to give it to me for me to be like, oh, I own Flora. Next up is Gucci Guilty. Now, Guilty did not leave a lasting impression on me. I sprayed it and I thought it was much too fruity. I'm just not a fruity girl. I hate to say this in case you really love fruity scents, but fruity scents to me makes me feel like I'm a really good girl. I don't know why. That sounds terrible, but it does. I feel like I'm 10 years old skipping down the street with a big lollipop in my hand. I just am not drawn to fruity scents like that. So it just didn't leave an impression on me. And I also remember I couldn't smell it throughout the day like I can with Bamboo, like I can with Flora. So maybe it just didn't work with my body chemistry. And last is Gucci's Bloom. Now this one I really like as well. So this one will go onto my list. I do feel that the scent is a lot lighter versus the Bamboo. It just reminds me so much of Bamboo, with just that added touch of like a flower added to it. Well, like blooms. I think they named it perfect. Just that little touch of like a rose, or I'm not really sure what flower scent is in it. I have to take a look at it. The next three items are complexion products, and it's taken me a while to review them, and it's really because I just don't really have any interest in them. First, I have Sunday Riley's Influencer Foundation, and I actually have two shades. I have number 260 and I have number 270. Trying to match myself to the Sunday Riley foundation was quite difficult. I was looking at the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and I think the 70. Yeah, the 70, because that's what I have. Oh, and I think they have 80, and I believe they have a 90. Number 260 I feel is my shade. That one is the one that just blends into my skin. Number 270, I see it as more of a warmer tone shade, and it's a lot more, like it has a little bit more red in it. And it is kind of like borderlining orange, which means it's going to be a lot more warmer on my undertone. That's something that I noticed with this foundation, is the undertones are kind of all over the place. I feel that the coverage for this foundation, it is so incredibly sheer. On my skin is what I notice. It's as if I'm not wearing anything. So if it's that sheer, I do look at the price tag. I do look at the size of the product and thinking, okay, what kind of makeup user am I? I tend to not reach for skin tints. I do not reach for very thin, I don't want to say thin liquid texture, thin coverage. Because for me, I just don't wear foundation at all. I just won't wear makeup at all. I'm comfortable enough within myself and whatever flaws might be showing to just walk around in a bare face. It doesn't matter to me. So that's kind of the user I am. So I think about that and I'm thinking, I'm just not wowed with it enough as it is. So I think I'll go ahead and pass on that. Next complexion product is from IT Cosmetics. This is the Bybare Foundation Moisturizer with SPF 50. Now I did pick up 3 samples to try out. I have Rich Honey, which is my exact skin tone. I have Rich, which is fairly light. I have it here on my hand. And then I have the shade Deep, which is darker. And I believe these are the last deep shades. There may be one more below it. I think so. There's either 3 or 4 below this. I haven't looked at the website in ages. Rich Honey is the shade that matches me the closest. So I'm gonna put that right here. Just really kind of blends into my skin. It's like you can't even really barely see that. You do have a warm golden undertone. That really is the only shade that I feel would suit you the best. The other 2 that I have here that I was trying out, they do run neutral. It just depends on your undertone and of course your skin tone. This is another product that I feel offers quite a sheer look on my skin. It's something I wished would have added more pigment because they're calling it a foundation and it's a moisturizer. It's kind of what is it? But I would have liked to have seen more. The fact that it has SPF 50 in it is wonderful because you have that high protection along with your makeup, even though I still would wear sunscreen underneath it. It's just an added bonus. But I still feel the coverage is not as strong as I would have liked it. And this is again coming from a user who just doesn't really like that light sheer coverage. I will just go ahead and not wear makeup at all. Also, my feelings for IT Cosmetics has been the same for quite some time. I just really am not interested in what their product offering is. When I do go up to the counter or whenever they have something that's new that's releasing, for example, their bronzer, it tends to be just one thing. And that one bronzer, for example, is covering the, it's like the middle skin tones, the beige skin tones, tan skin tones, light skin tones, but nothing for, you know, someone that looks like me. So a lot of times I feel very excluded from that brand and I just really don't have an interest in it. I know that they have other skincare products. I even have their eye cream, which I'm incorporating with my makeup just to hurry and get rid of it. But I'm just not interested in what they have. My last complexion product is from Lancôme. It's their Skin Feels Good Nourishing Foundation. Now, this is another item in a squeezy tube, which I like, and it has, you know, about I think 8 shades. It's kind of all over the place too. That was what was disappointing about it, was getting matched to this because they have some fair skin tones. Then I remember looking at 04 and then it jumps down to number 8. I'm like, wow, 4 to 8. That's a pretty big stretch. I picked up 2. This is 08N, which is in the shade Honey. Then I have, what is this? 12W Amber. So 8 down to 12. So it was pretty much all that was there. I had to pick a neutral one and then a warm. And the neutral one was much too neutral. And then the warm was not only darker, it was much too warm. So I actually mixed the 2 and I get something that's a little bit better. But for me, to have to spend over $65 for 2 tubes and I'm still not necessarily pleased with the color, and of course it's being very light. Now let's do blushes next. I have 2 of them. First up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio, and this is in the shade Berry Amore. Now this was on sale at Sephora. It was something I was thinking about picking up, and then I believe it was either a weekly wow or it was just on sale. I don't remember what it was, but it was on sale for the price at the pro price that I usually get when I go up to Los Angeles. I figured, hey, it saves me a trip. I'll go ahead and pick it up at Sephora. These are my tones. I have the orange here. It's more of like a coral, and then I have the berry shade and then the deeper plum at the bottom. I can wear them separate. I'll swirl them together and get a really beautiful look. I personally have not had an issue with the pigment payoff from the blushes because it's something I've read in the reviews. People have been saying there's no color payoff. I don't know if it's shade specific, but I don't have an issue with this. I think this is great for darker skin and they're just beautiful. They're tones I already use. I can use them together again, separate. they just work great on the skin, and they actually last. They last all day on me. And the second blush is from Hourglass, and this is their Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush. I have the shade Iridescent Flash. It doesn't come off matte. It comes off as a beautiful plum on the cheeks, but it has a slight sheen to it. That's what I want. Just that subtle amount of sheen and kind of keep everything else a bit matte. So this shade is really good for my skin tone and my undertone. Very happy I picked that one up. I do have two Huda Beauty items kicking off from my last Huda Beauty video. This is the one that I wanted to pull out for her baking powder, but it's been in this basket to film. This is Huda Beauty's 3D highlighter palette. Look at how beautiful that is. Glamorous. See the little highlights here, and this is raised, so I can feel it, just that touch to it. Now open it up. It doesn't have a mirror, but I never save these annoying little plastic inserts, but I couldn't toss this, so I just taped it to the top to protect the highlighters, because it's, I mean, it's her print on it, and looking all glamorous, just like the front cover. So I go, that's beautiful. I'm just gonna leave that there. Otherwise I would have tossed it. You see what I mean with this whole glamour thing going on? There are several kits for the highlighting palettes in her brand, and then it just goes by your various skin tones. This is Bronze Sands, which I feel is best suited for darker skin. And then the words are, excuse me, the names of each shades are typed here on the front. So you have Barbados, Maldives, Aruba, and Bora Bora. Look at that shade. I mean, Bora Bora is out of control. Now the cream is something I was first jumping to because I like the fluid. I like the cream highlighters. I can use this bare on my skin. I've used it with the Beauty Blender. Bare on my skin. Gorgeous. But I believe what the whole concept is, and I think it states it on the palette up here, prep. Apply Barbados as a base to smooth your skin and amplify your highlighters. So you can definitely do that. And that's something I already do with my creams and my liquid fluids. If you also have those in your collection, you're like, how am I going to use that up? Do that. Put it on first and then put your powder on top, or put another cream on top. So I will use Barbados in that manner, and then Barbados goes with any of these. Just looks beautiful. And I also picked up a few of her smaller palettes, but the one that I actually used in June is the Electric Obsessions. And I was playing around with this one to kind of compare it against the one from NYX, their Bright palette. Just kind of wanted to see their formula versus the Huda Beauty. And I do feel that the electric version one here has a lot more color payoff, and I feel that it blends better than the NYX one. I do like how small and compact this is. That's why I like it. It's very travel friendly. It's very kit friendly. Throw it in, it's done. It also isn't going to flip around and flop around and open up because it's magnetized. So I like that. Has a mirror if that, you know, something you desire, has a mirror. And then you have the shades right here. So just a variety of shades. So I picked up the warm palette, and then I picked up the smoky one. I wasn't interested in the other ones. It was a great price, of course, because it was at the makeup show. Then you have all these fun colors here. Next item is from Milk Makeup. This is their Kush mascara, and it's the High Volume Boom Volume Extreme mascara in the shade Black. This is actually something I picked up from Sephora from their promo code, and it was a mascara that I was actually interested in trying out. I've watched quite a few reviews, and I noticed from the reviews, everyone was saying, well, everyone that I was watching, they were stating that their eyelashes were just looking so full and lush and long. And I was like, okay, I want to try this out. I do feel that my lashes look exactly like my Ardell lashes number 102. Those lashes that are kind of spacey, they look like that. And they look a little bit full. I was actually pleased with the results. I was like, okay, I can see what everybody's kind of talking about. But then throughout the day, I was like, okay, nobody said this. I remember nobody said this. I was noticing I was having all these like little black flecks on my cheeks and under my eyes. I'm like, what is that? Like, what makeup is that? I looked in the magnifying mirror, and as I was looking, the mascara fell. it's the Kush mascara. So it was flaking everywhere. I was like, oh no, 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 this mascara is going in the trash. I'm gonna try you one more time. One more time. And I kept looking in the mirror and I kept looking, waiting for it to flake. And it didn't flake. And I have it on now and it didn't flake. So I don't know what it was. Just the first initial day, opening it up, you get flakes. Any other time after that, no flakes. No flakes. And I do have lashes on right now, but I kind of moved them down so you can see my shadow and you can see a little bit more of the lashes. So I'm just shocked. I don't know what it is. For the price, no. I just wish it did not flake. If it didn't flake, I probably would be more inclined to pick it up. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But if you've tried Kush mascara, please leave comments. Let me know your experience. My last items, I'm grouping them together. It's the M.A.C Aaliyah collection. Out of everything, I picked up the two lipsticks that were nude. The first one is the nude one, which is what I have on. This is the Try Again lipstick, so it's the matte lipstick. So I knew I wanted that. That's that nice matte color. This goes good with M.A.C's Cork lip liner, and I have on the ColourPop lip liner with it. So it's going to go with a lot of lipsticks, lip liners. You can mix them together. Then the second one I got is the amplified cream version, which is the More Than a Woman. I wanted one that was going to be like a cross between like a plum and a red, something a little bit different. I did pick up the lip liner, the darkest one, because this one is actually much different than Night Moth. That one, which is that leans more towards plum. This is in the shade, what color is this? This is Nevermore. So it's almost like borderline black. I love this shade. So incredibly beautiful. And I can mix it and match with it. And the glosses, which are the lip glosses, I tried them all on. And the lightest one did not look good on my lips, so I knew I wasn't going to go with that one. Then I tried on that one that was really deep, almost like borderline like blackberry, like black and plum. That one bled all over my lips. I don't know what was up with that formula. But I did pick up the purple version. Well, it's not even purple. It's like a deep blackberry too, but just not as black. This is At Your Best. So I picked up this one. This one looks beautiful with a variety of lipsticks. And then I definitely wanted the peach one. Peach. That's for some reason been my shade lately this year, and I don't have a lot of peach shades, so I do enjoy that. I swatched the eyeshadows. I wasn't interested in the palette. It just did not spark my attention. I didn't feel that it was Aaliyah, so I passed on that. Then of course the infamous bronzer. That was my most excited product that I wanted to try, and that one is much too light for me. I mean, I'm not looking for something that is going to have shimmer in it, but more so as far as a face powder. I did apply it to my cheeks, and you could use it as a highlighter, but that's not what my purpose for that product was. A rumor is we took Aaliyah's makeup bag, or the family took her makeup bag and drew inspiration from that. You want to go back to the 90s where we had very little options, where it was just, it was a struggle. It still is a struggle, which is why there is so much talk about including everyone, including shades, because we just have not had it for so long. And I grew up not seeing shades available. I grew up having to mix shades, abundance of shades, and on work assignments, mixing 9 bottles together. Those days are over. So to grab her makeup bag and create something from that you can do that, but it's 2018, so it's called tweak that. Tweak it to the modern times and make it so that it is readily available for the vast majority of customers that are going to purchase this item, which are going to be from the Black community. It's a collection made for and represented by a Black female. If anything, I want to be able to go up to the counter. Not only did I grow up with Aaliyah, grew up in the culture, I'm a huge fan, signed the petition, wanted this to happen. I want to go up to the counter and I want the collection to represent me. So M.A.C, think about us coming to the counter and so incredibly disappointed that we could not get something as simple as a bronzer for us. That was extremely disappointing, and that's why I never cussed as much as I did that day, because I was so unbelievably upset. And that is it, dear friends. All my makeup that I at least purchased, or was any given to me? No, I purchased all those. That was what I picked up for the month of June for my makeup box. I hope all those little mini reviews have been helpful for you. Let me know if you need more assistance, if I left anything out, more questions and so forth, leave them down as comment. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching. I do appreciate it. I do apologize. Back to back, we've got 2 videos that have been kind of a little bit downers, but hey, sometimes you just I gotta get it off my chest. Sometimes. So we'll be back to fun times. Namaste in the next video. Promise. Thank you for stopping by and watching. Have a wonderful day, everyone, or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video.